Now we're ready. You ready?
Oh, yeah.
Hello. Hello, Lydia Ko with a nice round of 67 today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 birdies and 1 bogey. Big difference from yesterday to today, huh?
Yeah, yesterday I actually played pretty solid. I think some of the pins were really hard to get to, so and especially around a course like this, I don't know how aggressive is playing smart, but I just tried to stick to my lines and just take committed shots. And yesterday, I thought it was a pretty decent start, and definitely a nice one today to kind of go into the weekend.
Absolutely. You started off on fire with 5 birdies on the front 9. What was working for you today? And were any of those birdies particular standout opportunities?
I actually made a really good up and down for par on the first, and then hit a really good 5-iron. Not as good as Pornanong's yesterday, but it was close. So it was just a nice tap in on 2, and I set myself birdie opportunities on 3 and 4, and then was able to hole a good one on 5. So the whole front 9, I think, I wasn't that far off. So when you're putting for birdie within 30 feet, 25 feet, you know that it's not going to be that stressful from there. I think all of the birdies on the front 9, they were all good shots. But I think on number 9, I got a little bit lucky. It broke the other way, and then it broke the other way, and then it did nothing what I thought it was going to do, and I hit it too hard, and it went in. So it was that kind of a day where, it started working, and I found the back 9 just a little bit tougher. And just my ball striking was not as solid as the front 9, so that made it a little bit more challenging. But to finish strong and make a good up and down on the last was definitely a nice way to finish today.
Great. We'll open it up for questions. Front row to Steve.
Lydia, you've hit it so well and been in contention so often this year that it kind of feels like it should be a 3 or 4 win Lydia year. What is the difference and why isn't it?
I think the last few events, I finished well, whereas actually in the start of the year, I started well and didn't finish as well in regards to like round 3 and 4. But it's kind of flipped the other way where I was like 50-somethingth or 40-somethingth at the end of the first day, and then played really solid the second and third round to kind of give myself a run at it. I think like the last couple weeks, it was a few like silly mistakes, a few shots where I lost focus a little bit, and costing me a couple of shots from there. But other than that, I feel like the game's in a pretty solid place. At the same time, I think it is very difficult to win. The level of play on our tour is incredible. You can see by the scores week in, week out. So it is hard to win. But I'm just trying to put myself more in that kind of position, and I think when you keep knocking on the door, you hope that one day that door will open.
So many of us remember you from 10, 9, 8 years ago, winning all the time. When did you realize golf was hard?
I think it was always hard. Everybody said, "Man, you make it look easy," and I was like, "Well, it ain't easy." So it's not as easy as it looks, maybe. I think, when you do get into a good momentum, it does feel more natural. You're not working as much, you're not like grinding as much on the golf course, and it's kind of like my front 9, just hit one shot after another, and you just give yourself opportunities, and if it falls, great. If it doesn't, it doesn't. So I think in ways it can feel like some days are easier than others, but I think just the level of play and even the winning scores every year at some of these events, it keeps getting better and better. So it just shows what the standard is in women's golf. And I think I mentioned it before, the year that Jin Young and Nelly had last year. It's like, yes, they made it look easy, but it's because they played incredible golf. It's like there's nothing else to kind of describe that.
Back row to Jeff, and then over here to Noah.
Lydia, what's the inner satisfaction of building yourself back into a constant contender?
I think I just gotta keep focusing on what I need to work on. And I think sometimes when you watch other people play and people that are playing well, you go, okay, maybe I should do this, maybe I should do that, try what somebody else is doing. And I think when things are going well, everything looks good. But, you know, I think the important thing is for me to, like, realize that sometimes most of the time, I'm not going to have a perfect game, so I'm just trying to put the best score I can when I'm out there, and when I'm practicing, just making sure that I'm doing the right things and working with my team and being really aware of what really needs to be done. I think sometimes, you know, it feels like, oh, you're not putting as well, but maybe it's just because you're giving yourself more opportunities for birdies. So it's just kind of finding that balance, and I think taking that step back and really assessing like where your game's at is such an important thing for me, and I think for most people.
Behind me, Noah.
Lydia, I'm wondering what have your impressions been of 18 as a finishing hole, and what's going to be the key to having success there this weekend? You
have to hit the fairway. I wasn't that far off, but I said I should have almost hit it more left, because then I would have had a flatter lie. Have to hit the fairway. Just so you got to hope that you have a very comfortable number and a comfortable shot going into there. I know that over the next 2 days, it's not forecasted to have much more rain, so the fairways are going to get firmer, so the balls are going to run out more, but at the same time, you know, the fairway slants from right to left, so it could also make the fairway seem narrower, just because there are the bunkers on the right, but yeah, it's just fairway, green, kind of like what Jess did today, fairway, green, and just hope for an opportunity for birdie, but par on that hole in any day is a really good score. And I think when you are out of position like I was today, or if you're in the bunker, to be smart and kind of hit it to a number and just try and get up and down from there. I don't think there's any other way. There's no other like easier way to play the hole.
Jean on the front row.
Yeah, Lydia, how comfortable are you with your position going into the weekend? Obviously, Angie still has to go out and play, but by the end of the day, you probably will have made up at least a little bit of ground.
Yeah, I think I just tried to focus on my game and hopefully stick around for the weekend. You know, this is my 4th week in a row, and I try and not play more than 3-4 weeks in a row, and this is the first of that 4-week stretch for me this year. So I know that sometimes when you're fatigued, you could lose focus and then hit, you know, some mistakes that you normally wouldn't if you were a bit more like sharp. So just kind of I think being rested is also really important for the weekend. Half the field is yet to, you know, play 18 holes, so I don't know where I'm going to sit, but definitely I think 2 solid days of golf, and hopefully I'll be able to cap off these next 2 days in a solid way and have a great 3 weeks off.
Thanks so much, Lids. See you later.
Thank you.